What is up, guys? SIMPLEFX back with another video for you guys, your favorite female trader. I missed you guys. It's been a long time since I've done a breakdown video. So this is going to be the $1,000 trade that I took tonight on the 13th of January. Basically on this trade here, I did record it for you guys, but the trade took about like 2 hours, almost 2 hours, I think, to play out. So I'm not going to obviously make this video too long for you guys to see. But I'm going to do a quick breakdown of the trade that I took so you guys could see, you know, what I did and why I exited the trade, because I just exited the trade about like 5 or 10 minutes ago or so. And I'll tell you guys why. So basically on this trade setup here, I started watching the charts at around start of Asian session, right around like 7:30, which is about pre-Asian-ish. And at the time, this candle hadn't formed yet. I'll take this off so you can see better. At the time, this candle right here had not formed yet. This one was kind of in the middle of closing out, and it was retracing. So I saw that price had reached a high, came down to make a low, created a support, and broke this candle's high. So naturally, this candle should continue bullish, which I think it still will continue bullish, but it's struggling right now because there isn't a lot of volume in the market. So it's expected that price is having a hard time pushing up. So if we drop down to like the 1 hour time frame, let's just do a 30-minute time frame for time's sake. You'll see here that I actually entered the trade right around this section right here. I don't know exactly where I entered. Let me look it up really quickly so you guys can see where my first entry was. I did take a small position at 141,787. So 141,787. We'll put a line here. Coordinates 141,787. That was one of the small positions that I took on this trade. Last week, GJ did a lot of non-retesting as it was pushing, and I missed out on a lot of setups because I was waiting on the actual retesting, and it did not retest a lot. So if you look here, you'll see that price did break above this ranging area that we were in here, and once it broke above here, I saw this candle pushing up. So I said once I saw this coming down, I figured this would be more of the retest area, so I decided to take an entry there. And price actually did continue down to retest the level that it broke, which it did not do last week, which is why it threw me off. So that's why it's important, guys, to wait on your retest, because when you wait on your retest, it gives you a lot more confirmation and you don't find yourself in as much drawdown. If we go ahead and switch over to the trade really quickly here, you'll see where I entered at. Let me try to minimize this a little bit. You'll see that I entered right here on this on the trade right around this area here, and price did continue all the way down. And if you look over here to the left, you'll see that I was in and out of drawdown. I'll fast forward here a little bit, and you guys can see here I was in well over $500 drawdown on all of my orders. I was about 27, 28 pips down in drawdown, and I actually went down to almost 900 in drawdown. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. 600, 700, 400, 400, 400, 500. So you guys can see here, I was in drawdown for like a while, right? Because I anticipated that price was going to continue bullish. But my entry was just bad. It was just a bad entry because of the loss that I took last week on the anticipation that price was going to retest. I didn't think it was going to do that again, and it did do that even with the low volume that's in Asian session, and it ended up coming down and retesting. So yeah, I decided to hold my orders because I wanted to see what price was going to do when it got to this area here. If I minimize this screen here, and we'll go back to the chart here, I wanted to see what price was going to do here. So once price came down here, I let this candle close and I let this one start forming, and even though it started pushing down, unless it closed down here, I wasn't going to close out on my order, because this could be the retest and the support that's created for price to continue up, which it did. So I was okay for holding that. I don't recommend you guys holding your drawdowns for a large amount of time or for a lot of pips, because that's just bad. That's not very good risk management. But it depends on what you're willing to risk on your account. I was willing to risk that much of my account and take that L if I had to, in order to come back with the profit that I did get. So I made the $1,000 profit on the trade, but the drawdown was a killer, on that, what I'm saying? So basically on the trade, if we go back to the video here, I don't have corona, trust me, guys. I just have a itchy throat. So if you guys look, you'll see I was still in drawdown here for, well into the trade. So we're 45 minutes into this trade here, and I'm still in drawdown. So if I fast forward some more here, you guys will see that I started coming out of drawdown about an hour into the trade. So about 2 30-minute candles, one 1 hour candle. So I had to let that one hour candle close to give me more confirmation to enter the trade. I was already in the trade, so it really didn't matter at that point. I wasn't going to take any entries at the wick here because I wasn't sure what price was going to do there. That would have been a very risky entry if I would have taken more orders down there. So I decided to keep my risk where it was at and not put any more stress on my account. So if you guys can see here, I'm $500 in profit, and if we continue on, we're up 800, 900, and I closed out at right around $1,000 profit. We were up as much as about 1,500 in profit on the trade, but if you look here, you'll see I was about $700 profit here, and I saw price start to retrace. Now this is a normal retracement, but I don't know what price is going to do here, simply because these rejection areas right here, I'll go back to the chart here so you guys can see. These 3 rejection areas here really bothered me. You'll see in the video, because I'm going to play the video at the end so you guys can see. Price did come exactly to this level and reject. It came there and rejected. Now price has retraced a little bit. It's making another support for it to continue back bullish. I'm anticipating price is going to come all the way up to at least 142, 110. And if it does do that, that's awesome. I did not leave any positions open. I closed out on everything. But I will be back for the London session tonight to see what it does for London. But it could range. It could come here and range. This rejection was a very strong rejection because price pushed very hard for it to continue up. It should have. If this rejection wasn't here, it probably would have continued up, and I would have held my order. But I'm not going to be greedy and jump back in the order. I'm going to be happy with what the market gave me and just close out with that. But that's pretty much the breakdown, guys. I saw price retracing, retesting, and coming back up to continue bullish with what was left or was to my left. And that pretty much gave me the confirmation that I needed to take the trade. And if I'll let this play it here a little bit for you guys to see the trade actually playing out. I do get an overwhelming response from you guys when I do these live trade videos. Oh crap, I totally forgot that my screen is down there so you guys can't see. So let me move this up here. Crap, sorry guys. Forgot my little screen was at the bottom there. So let me go back so you guys can see here. All right, so this was the beginning of the trade. Wow, that's so stupid of me. Sorry guys. So this was the beginning of the trade. You guys should be able to see the profit now. All right, so I was bouncing in and out of drawdown here. At one point I was well in like $400 or $500 drawdown. And then 500 drawdown, 200. At one point, I was, like I said, I was down like almost $1,000 drawdown at one point. 2 of the orders did close out because I did have stop losses on those 2 orders. They were smaller orders though. But I let the other ones run without a stop. I keep a mental stop of my trades. So these trades continue to run. And eventually when price retested and it closed above this level here, I said, okay, good. We're in the clear. We should be continuing bullish back up. And as you can see right here, we did continue bullish. So this was an excellent trade. Trash entry. Okay, guys. But have confidence in your setups. Even if you take an L, make sure it's an L that you're willing to take. It's not too much on your account that you're going to deplete a large amount of your account. Even if I would have taken this $1,000 loss, it wouldn't have made that much of a dent in my trading account. So make sure that whatever you're risking is something you're okay with losing, because that's the #1 rule with trading and your risk management. What are you willing to lose? You don't know how much you're going to make on a trade, but you'll always know how much you're going to lose because you have total control over that. So make sure that you try to have confidence in your trade. And even if you go into a little bit of drawdown and you don't see the trade going your way, or it's going a little bit too much more than you wanted it to, it's okay to close the trade out and then just look for another entry. Give your trade a second chance, give your bias a second opportunity, because you may not be wrong in terms of the actual direction of the market. It could just be that the move wasn't set up, it wasn't ready to make its move yet. So don't forget to give your trades a second chance. Don't just take the first initial loss and write it off and say, okay, I'm done. I was wrong. You can't look at it like that. You have to give the market time. It fluctuates, it moves, it needs space to breathe. You have to give the trade time to play out. What would have made this trade that I've took invalid and a loss for me, a true a true loss would have been if this move here was a fake out and price did come back into this range. If price would have come back in this range and closed below here, then that trade would have been a total loss. It wouldn't have been anything. At that point, my bias was wrong, and I bit the bullet. So you have to go off your confirmations. You have to wait for the move to be ready to set up. You have to be patient because patience really pays. Had I waited for an actual retest like I normally do, I would have been able to catch this move right at the bottom, right at the retest level, at the support. I could have entered a whole bunch of orders down here, and I would have profited a whole lot more than I did. But because I did not anticipate a retest and I wanted to catch the move as it was going, I lost out on that. Granted, I won the trade, but I lost out on much more profits that I could have had. So if you guys see here, small profits over here, small moves. My entries are right around this area here. Like I said, price did retrace. So let's fast forward this a little bit, and y'all let this play for you guys a little bit so you guys can see, the profits fluctuating. Let me start it a little bit back here so you guys can see when it went from negative over into positive. So I'll let this play for you guys a little bit. In videos like this, guys, seeing your moves play out, watching your profit fluctuate, it does help with your psychology a little bit. It does help you get your emotions in check because when you're watching your trade in drawdown, you start to get nervous. You start to get scared. You want to close, but you don't want to close. You start to get emotional about the move. That should only happen to you if you're over leveraging. If you're over leveraging and you're risking too much on the trade, that is when you start to get kind of ants in your pants about the trade, and you start to want to close, or it'll go a little bit in profit and then you'll just close out, or you'll wait for the trade to come to break even and then you'll close out again. That shows that you're over leveraging. You're over leveraging, you're over risking, you're probably even over trading. So when you're doing that and you're adding multiple orders to your trade, you're adding stress, you're adding pressure, you're adding, stress to your account. And when you do that, it adds pressure and stress to you because it's your account, it's your money. So when you do that, you have to have the emotions to add orders to your trade. You have to have the leverage of the emotions that basically, if you're going to add orders to your trade, you better be ready if you're going to take a loss, because every trade you take, you have to be willing to take a loss on that trade, because as traders and retail traders, we always think that every trade we take is going to win. And that's not always the case. It's not always the case, guys. So you want to be careful with that. And watch videos like this. And I'll post a lot more with no sound. This one obviously has sound because I wanted to break the move down to you guys. But watching the profit, guys, it really, really helps. Now, you can be watching your trade on your phone and then watching it play out on your screen, and it's it's kind of the same thing, but when you're watching somebody else's trade, it's like fun. It's really fun. It's like a roller coaster ride, watching the numbers go up and down, watching the trade fluctuate, watching what the candles do. But this stuff like this really helps with your psychology. It really helps with your confidence. The breakdown, seeing the trade breakdown, the way I explained it to you, and why I entered where I entered, why I took a loss if I took a loss, why I won the trade if I won the trade, where my stop loss was placed the whole time. All of these things matter. All these things play a part, and they all kind of intertwine in with each other. So they're there to help you get better with your trading. A lot of you know this, that 80% of trading is psychology. It's all emotions. It's all in your head. You know what I'm saying? How many times have you guys seen trades come down and hit your stop and then turn around and go into profit, or go in the direction that you thought it was going to go in, but it just wasn't ready? And you see that happening over and over and over again. And you start to kick yourself because you're like, man, I had it, I was right, but this happened, that happened, and, the charts are watching me. Guys, I used to think that for a long time. It wasn't until I actually became profitable and I started waiting for my confirmations, waiting for my setups, not over leveraging anymore. That is when I start to have more confidence in the move and in the setup. So, guys, I know it's tempting to add orders, and I know it's tempting to raise your lot size, and I know it's tempting to immediately close out your trade in a little bit of profit or taking small profit, because winning something is better than losing at all. You know what I'm saying? Winning even $1 is better than losing, 5 cents, So get that in your emotions and your psychology, guys. The more that you see trades play out, even if you don't take them live, you could just paper trade it. The more you paper trade, the more you watch the moves happen in the sessions that you trade, on the pair that you trade, the more you start to see your trade idea play out in your favor, the more your confidence grows. Now, when you transition over to a live trade and you're taking it live and you're not over leveraging and you're confident in what you've seen in the past, all that is going to help you be profitable, guys. I promise you. If you use proper risk management, your risk management plays directly in line with your psychology. So if you do not have $5 to lose, you do not have $5 to trade. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If you do not have it to lose, you don't have it to trade. So if you can't lose it, then don't trade it. Don't trade it, meaning do not over leverage. If you have a $1,000 account or a $500 account and you can't afford to lose $20, then you should not be taking that trade. You don't have to take every setup that you see, guys. Every setup that you see will not play out. How many times have you seen a move happen, you didn't take it, and the move went the other way, which you thought it would have, and you're like, man, if I would have taken that trade, I would have lost. Thank God I didn't take it. You have to look at your wins the exact same way. If I would have taken that trade, hey, maybe if I didn't over leverage, I would have won that trade, because as if you're risking a certain amount on your account, and if you go into $5, $10, $20 drawdown on a, let's say, $1,000 account, that's not going to bother you. You're going to sit back and kick your feet up, and you're going to let the trade play out, because you're not worried about that small amount of drawdown. But if you have a $100 account and you have a $20, $30, $40 drawdown, which is way over leveraging, you're going to start to get nervous. You're going to start to want to close out your trade, and it's really going to mess with your confidence. It's going to mess with your emotions. It's going to cause you to be discouraged, and it's really going to prolong your journey to being consistently profitable with trading, guys. So that is why I post these videos. That is why I want you guys to understand the importance of confidence in your trade, but also intertwining your confidence in line with your risk management and with your trade idea and your trade plan. All of those things play a part with each other. All of them help you out in the long run. And, I hope you guys enjoy stuff like this. I think you guys do, because the last one that I posted got like 700 views in like a day, which is a lot for me. So as you guys are seeing here, the price is just, wow. It's just fluctuating up and down and up and down. And at times I wasn't even watching the trade. I put my trade order in. I wasn't about, I think when I got up and left my computer, I was in like $500 drawdown, I think. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this anymore. I don't want to watch it anymore. I just need it to reverse for me. I need the trade to reverse, start going in my favor, and I'm good to go. So I put my phone down. I left my computer alone. I got up, I went, and I just started cleaning my apartment. I started looking for things to do, went and got something to drink, kind of, threw some stuff in the laundry, do something to keep my mind off of the fact that I may lose the trade. And even if I do, it's okay, because I had my stop where I was comfortable with, taking a certain amount of loss. And if I won the trade, hey, even better. And another thing, guys, I want you guys to remember is to not get upset at yourself if you see your trade go into a certain amount of profit and then you see it start to retrace because you didn't close. You can take what the market gives you when you're trading. I always say take what it gives you, because the market isn't here to make you money. It's here to take your money. So if you get an opportunity to make money from the market, you should take it and run. That's why I'm a scalper. So at one point we were up about 15 or 1600 on the trade, and I didn't close. I left it open because I'm like, no, I want to see how far it goes. Now I could have closed out a couple of positions and left a couple runners, but I'm content with what I made. I had I think we closed out at, hold on, I'll tell you guys right now. The trade I took this morning, we closed out at $1,300 trade. So $1,300 and $1,000 tonight. That's a $2,300 day. So that's not anything to be mad at or sneeze at. You know what I'm saying? How many people make $2,000 a day and sitting at home? not a lot, you know. So don't be mad at yourself, and try not to be greedy as well, because I could have left this trade open and, you know, it completely reversed on me and just knocked me out of the trade, totally hit my stop loss and took me out. Obviously I had trade stops at break even, so I wasn't going to lose anything once I hit profit. But I still want you guys to understand that trading is a journey. It's a journey that is a never-ending journey. You're going to be on it forever. If you are deciding to learn how to trade and to become a retail trader and trade for the rest of your life, or however long you want to do it for, understand that you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to take losses. You're going to have wins. You're going to have big days. You're going to have big losses. But it's all a journey. It's all a journey. It's a marathon. Take what it gives you. Stick to your trading plan. Try to get your psychology right. Try to compound your account as much as you can. Don't forget to withdraw your money that you win, okay? Because a lot of you don't do that. And constantly try to educate yourself. Constantly study. Constantly backtest. Constantly watch things that are motivating, that are inspiring to you. Look for other methods, you know, because the way I traded when I first started learning is not the way I trade now. You know, a lot of it is the same kind of fundamental wise, but a lot of the way that I look at the market and the way that I trade now is very, very different. So the trader that you are when you're learning is not going to be the trader that you're going to be, you know, a year, 2, 3, 4 years down the line. So understand that it is a journey. It is a journey, guys. So I'm going to let you guys watch this for a little bit longer. I don't want this to be too long. But yeah, $1,000 profit, okay? And we are about an hour into the trade, okay? An hour into the trade, and we're up a little over 1,000 in the trade. It's going to continue pushing. And as the trade is moving, guys, you should always be checking your charts on the different time frames, just to get an idea of what the candles are doing. As you see right here, you see me moving around the chart, going into each time frame to see how the candle is forming, how it's looking, what is it doing, should I be concerned about anything. I'll pause it right here really quickly and to show you guys these 3 rejection levels. Here is what I was talking about. Price came up to this rejection and it rejected. Then it came down and started retracing again. So let me minimize this so we can see what price did. So look here, okay? Price rejected up here, retraced all the way down here. Almost hit my stop. It actually didn't hit my stop. Almost came close to it. And now no wick at the bottom. And now it's shooting back up for 6-7 pips-ish, okay? And this is probably going to continue. If this candle breaks this rejection area here, it's probably going to go up into to about this area right here. Okay, and it's 10 o'clock at night, so it's going to take some time because it's the Tokyo session now. Tokyo session is very, very low volume, so it's going to take a little time for that trade to play out. But that's why I closed out the trade. You have to switch time frames to look at what the candles are doing, and then look left to see, hey, why did the candle do that? Why did the candle reject at that area? Should I be concerned about that? Is price going to reverse on me? Is it just taking a little breather before it continues bullish? What does it want to do? Come down to create a resistance or a support? You have to ask yourself these questions because they all affect your trade, especially if you're just getting into the trade. Now, I was already in the trade, so I was already up in a bunch of pips in profit. But if I had just entered that trade, that would have mattered to me, especially if you have late entries on your trades. You have to know what each candle is doing, how it's forming, why it's forming. If it's rejecting, why is it rejecting at that area? Should you be concerned about that area? Could it be a minor rejection, a major rejection? You have to ask yourself these things while you're in the trade because these things will affect your profitability levels in the market. So guys, I hope you guys got a lot out of this video. I'm going to speed this up a little bit longer here. So $800. Okay, there we go. $1,400. So right around there, guys, right around an hour and 20 minutes into the trade, we were up $1,400 on the trade in profit. Could I have closed out? Yeah. And if you guys look here, you'll see this is where the trade was starting to reject. Right here, started wicking out, came up, and then it started coming down, and now it's pushing right back up to retest this level again. Could it reject again? Absolutely. I'm not in the trade anymore, so I don't care, but it could reject again. But if it doesn't reject again and it breaks it, it's going up. It's going up because there's nothing else here stopping this trade from pushing up even more. So yeah, $1,500 would have been nice, but hey, I'm good with what I had so far. So again, never want to be greedy. Okay, so we closed the trade out. Once I saw this candle start coming down, it started pushing really hard. So it almost came to my stop loss. And then once I started retracing back up, I said, I'm going to close out because I don't trust this rejection area. I just didn't trust it. So I ended up closing out at just over 1,000, I think, in profit, or like, yeah, $955. So $955 for the trade. So you might as well say $1,000. And that's it, guys. That's it. That's the trade. I hope to take more live trades with you guys. But during Asian session, it does take a long time for the moves to play out, because this particular move that just played out, if this same setup had happened on like New York session or London session, it would have taken a whole lot less time to play out than it did on Asian session. But because Asian session is a bit longer, it's a lower volume session. You have to be patient with the moves and let them play out, because the volume is just not there as much as it is on the other sessions. So that's why this trade took almost 2 hours to play out, when probably on London and New York, it probably would have taken 5, 10, maybe even 15 minutes for this trade to play out, which would have been even better. So I'm going to cut the video here. I'm going to go relax for a little bit. I'm going to get up at around 3 in the morning to trade the London session to see what I find on there. And then if I can take a live trade for that one as well, I'll go ahead and record that for you guys to see. That way you guys can get as much knowledge as you can out of these videos. Thank you guys for supporting me, getting me over that 1,000 subscriber mark. That's really, really awesome. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers now. And it's really awesome. It's really great. I'm really thankful to be able, or grateful to be able to give you guys this knowledge of what I had, and the journey that I've been on with Forex. Is really, really hard, but it's a lot of fun. So guys, appreciate you guys watching this video for today. Let the rest of the video run to the end here, and then we'll see how the rest of the trade plays out. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity with this pair, and London session is super volatile. So if you guys got value, got inspiration even out of this video, just drop a like. Just go ahead and hit the like button. It really helps me out. It really helps the channel. I have a lot more videos dropping for you guys as well. So again, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed already, come on, subscribe. I mean, why not? I mean, who doesn't want to see this face every day? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, please like the video, subscribe, and come back again. Turn on that bell notification too. That way you can be notified of how often that I drop videos. That way you don't miss out on anything. I have some fire content lined up for you guys with the day in the life videos and the Forex breakdown educational videos. So you don't want to miss those, guys. So anyway, I'm going to end it for this video, and I will catch you guys on the next trade. Mwah.